The land of tombs is yours now.
Where is it, though?
And let this be a lesson that only through faith may death be conquered.
I'm still not really that interested in conquering death and all that good stuff, but at least... Oh, we can actually use all of these now, even though we missed one. So I guess we can actually just go in here. We just need to solve this. This might take a while, because this one actually looks pretty complicated. But we're just going to put some pieces down, and then we're just going to move some pieces around. And with some luck, we'll have solved the puzzle in the end. Like right now, I'm actually at a point where I'm like, this won't work. So I'm actually going to have to do a little bit more thinking than usual. This might be the first puzzle that had these things in it, where I'm actually going to have to do a little bit of thinking. But we'll see, I guess. It's nice to actually have one of these, though, which is a little bit more complicated than the ones we've seen so far. Because the ones we've seen so far, we've just solved all of them in seconds. It was just kind of embarrassing. So yeah, there's that. This one though? Oh boy, this one might take a while. I'm not really sure how I'm actually gonna get any of these pieces to the right place. So we finally may have something going on here. Yeah, this is actually a little bit of a problem that we're facing here. Because there's a lot of potential spots where you could place things. But no real... Do I have one that... I do have a couple that look different, so... What if I replace these? No, that doesn't work. What am I... of course that doesn't work. What am I trying to do here? Who am I trying to fool? Who am I trying to fool? But once we place the things in the right locations, eventually it is all going to make sense. This is nothing. All right. So, how about instead we put this one, just throw it away. Just forget about it for a while. Just put everything over there. And then we are left with a couple of spots which we can't reach with any of these blocks. But if we then move these pieces around, you see, oh yes, when we move these pieces around, you're gonna be like, damn son, that's a fair point you got there. And I'll be like, yeah boy, which is a comment I've already made previously, and even then it didn't make much sense, and now it continues not to really go anywhere. But a boy's gotta try every single day of his life. Otherwise, you're just gonna... Like, if I now had one of those squiggly blocks, we wouldn't have any problems right now. But unfortunately, we're just not in that situation currently, where we have access to a squiggly. So we're just gonna have to figure out something else. We're just gonna have to figure out some other way of getting some room here for a line piece. And how are we gonna do that? We're just gonna do that by moving various pieces around. Like now, we've managed to turn this around, which is great. Sort of. Yeah, we need to find some way to make this a straight line. I'm gonna be honest, with most of these puzzles, I just sort of brute force it because I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm not gonna lie, this is how it usually goes. I just sort of do stuff and eventually, whoops, I got it by accident, is fairly frequently how these puzzles are solved when I do them. I just put things in spots. Eventually, I've put everything in the right spot by accident, and the world will cheer. That's not gonna work either. I really would like a squiggly piece. That would just make my life a lot easier. But it's just not how it is. It's just not how we're dealing with this problem right here, right now. So how about we do this instead, and then we just rethink all of our life decisions that have led up to this point. And eventually, bish bash bosh, problem not solved. But as long as you're confident about it, people will briefly believe that you have an idea what you're doing. Which is how I generally go through life. You just sort of feign confidence, and people will be like, well, that guy knows what he's talking about, until they eventually realize that I really don't. I really have no idea what I'm talking about at any point in my life. And it usually just leads to hilarious consequences. Though right now it mostly just leads to a sheer feeling of disappointment. But eventually we'll have used up every single possible combination of blocks. And then theoretically, one of those will have been the answer. Right now, I've mostly just moved blocks around until I got the exact same situation in a different location. Which, again, usually how it goes. This is just one of the more complicated ones. And now I'm finally... Now you're seeing the struggle, which is usually going through me while I'm doing these things. Now you're seeing basically every attempt I've done at Sigils of Elohim, where I just sort of get stuck and just sort of do stuff for a while, and eventually it'll work out. For a fairly long period of time, I'm just sort of mindlessly doing things. And right now I'm building myself into that exact same location again, where it's just I need either one of these or a squiggly line. Like basically everything except for the blocks I actually have. And it's not helpful. It's not helpful at all. Someone's already figured the puzzle out at this point. At least 4 people, I would say. And they're all yelling at me. And I'm crying a little bit right now. Just a small tear is streaming down my eye. And it's kind of sad. I'm like, it's kind of like watching a puppy cry, to be honest. It's kind of like watching a puppy cry. If I place these over here and then just replace this in cool ways, then theoretically, eventually we'll have some sort of thing going on which will lead to pure bliss. That would not work because of the account that I have a line piece. Wouldn't it be great if I had another one of those blocks? Wouldn't that just be fantastic? Wouldn't that just be the bee's knees right now? Because man, one of those blocks. Maybe now I need a line piece there. So you know, I am moving things in a way where different blocks are required. It's just that I'm not doing it correctly. And I honestly don't fully understand the logic behind these puzzles to easily be able to replace things in such a way that it actually makes sense. And again, we need a squiggly, which is not currently what we have available at any point during this puzzle. And if I do this, need a line piece. So yeah, what do? We just keep trucking. We just keep going on. We'll just replace everything. The problem with doing these puzzles while talking as well is that you're really just sort of brute forcing it, because it's kind of hard to pay attention to this puzzle while simultaneously coming up with this entire story to drone on about while doing all of this. And what you end up with is just something like this, really, where you just end up with a lot of blocks which are not being used very properly at all. And it's kind of sad, because now we no longer need a line piece, but we do need one of those. And it puts us in an infinite loop of situations, which we have seen many times before. Boy. Oh boy, what am I doing? What am I doing with my life? What am I doing with my life? I just don't know. Like right now, I could need another line piece or another L block. I don't even know anymore. I don't even know. I just don't know anymore. I'm just sort of doing stuff. And this stuff I'm doing, does it really lead to the answers I'm looking for? I don't know. I just don't know, son. I don't know if this really leads to what I'm looking for. But I gotta keep trying. If I don't keep trying, then what's the point, right? If I don't keep trying, then what am I doing? Then what am I doing? Is the question you gotta ask yourself. We did it. Let's go. I wonder what this is gonna look like, to be honest. More desert, I suppose.
Chaos is that which existed before time, when the words of a story lose their meaning, when actions cease to have purpose. Know that only faith can protect you from this peril, here, in the Garden of Worlds.
I'm gonna say that was just a generic statement to distract me, because that really didn't fit with the Star World that you've given me here. And it's probably just one of the random statements you can get when you enter a zone you've already visited, or is just one of these. Let's paint a message. I have seen things you can only imagine. You're welcome, world. Look at that beautiful QR code. It's me, version 99. That's who I am. I'm the last one before version 100. Yeah, then it just gets silly, honestly. Oh boy, this one has a lot of words. It doesn't have an image file. I wonder if it's an exciting image file. Or something that is so incredibly offensive that I can't even show it on screen. It is a picture of the elevator of the big tower. Thanks, game. Needed that. Very helpful. Now we can truly progress. Does this area look familiar to you? Because I'm getting an odd smell of familiarity here. But it might just be me. In fact, most likely, it is just me. But there's a QR code there. And the end of the world. I never thought I would figure out how to get to this place. It's beautiful, but somehow sad. Well, I'd feel pretty sad too if I got to an area and all I can think of is, this kind of reminds me of that other area. But whatevs. What evs? We're in the star world, we're gonna have a star time. That's what I'm saying. We're just gonna keep exploring until we find something cool. I know this. I have to know. I guess I could just use third person to check around corners like that, because most likely it's gonna be easier to see that way than any other way imaginable. Is there a point to you, Pillar? Or are you just here to distract me? Because I'm okay with that, but still it would be nice if you'd verify my suspicions that you are really just made to distract me. Really? But this is like the end of a puzzle area. Why would you... Yeah, but... Why would you do that to me, game? Why would you do that to me? I don't appreciate that at all. It looked like an area I could go, but here you are, pulling me away again like it's nothing. Like it's nothing at all. Like I am nothing to you, video game. Like you are just pulling me around places to show me a new world, but within very visible constraints. Like you are just pushing me around in an area where I do not wish to be. And I, personally, do not appreciate it very much. On a deeply personal level. But we will keep exploring. We're gonna keep looking around, no matter how many times you're gonna repeat the words of yours to me. Even if we have to do it in third person. Because I want to see everything. I am the words. And most likely that is just gonna leave me. It's gonna lead me astray, and I don't want that. Look at this. We're a kangaroo now. We're Kangaroo Bot 9000. Ready to solve some puzzles. That's what we are. You know how ready we are? We're so ready, we're gonna read a QR code over here. We cannot achieve the goal of processes on our own. We must find a way to help each other. By Barachiel. So there you go. Thanks, Barachiel. That is definitely going to help me, I feel. I think there might not be an immediately obvious secret area in this place that is not in a puzzle. Maybe there's one in a puzzle. I just don't know. I'm just not aware. Maybe there's one over here. I'm pretty sure I've gone here before. Because there was that thing over there that said, I don't know how I got here, and it's kind of sad, and I agreed. In a way. But I will have one more scannery doodle before I continue onwards and deal with a puzzle or two. Just making sure that I am not missing out on anything. There is this starting zone which looks virtually identical to the one that had the Serious Sam face room in it. But that's fine. That's cool. Are there only 3 puzzles here? That might actually be correct, thinking about it. Yeah, that's the thing on the sign. Peekaboo! Hey, look at what we got. We got ourselves a laser jammer. We can't even bump into them, though. That's kind of sad. Alright. You there. I don't know how long I want you to stand on this switch, so I hope you don't mind having to stand on it for like 10 seconds. I think that's a pretty reasonable amount of time, if you'll ask me. But it's really the only thing I can think of doing. Look at you. What am I supposed to do with this? Oh, I know. I know what I'm supposed to do. It is actually easy peasy lemon squeezy. Record pointed at the target. It's not easy peasy lemon squeezy anymore. I don't think this is gonna work, but whatever. Let's just do it. This might work, maybe? I'm pretty sure this is not gonna... Like, the laser's not gonna last long enough. I thought I was just gonna put it over here. But I guess thinking about it, that is actually an impossibility. Unless there's another laser over here somewhere. But I do not believe that that is the case right now. Well, let's just give it a shot, see what happens. Where's the laser? Here it is. Yeah, let's see what happens here. Oh, we can actually just do this as well, so there's that to consider. Like, I feel like this would have roughly the same effect, given that I cannot even hit the laser. Thanks, me. You've done a good job, but today you've sort of disappointed me in a large quantity of ways. You wouldn't even believe. Yeah. Okay, so that... I'm gonna say that doesn't work. I'm gonna say that that is not a solution, and I almost feel bad about it, to be honest. I almost feel bad about it. What if... actually, I wonder if I can hit it from here. It would be cool if you could, like, hit the lock from here. Somehow... I don't... That you just have, like, two lasers, each going to, like, a different part. And both eventually leading to the thing, so it just keeps charging. Oh, or you can just put it over here, I guess. Yeah, I think that might actually be how it's gonna be done. So... so we just do this, start recording, put this thing over there, point it at that, I think, like this. Then we just step on the switch. And we just sort of stand here for a while. And I'm pretty sure if we then do the same thing on the other side, we're gonna have an easy peasy juicy McJuice box right here, because we'll just keep on charging. Whatever this silly little robot's trying to do. I actually wouldn't be surprised if you could just somehow do this with one of these things, but whatever. Whatever. Alright, so if I now do this, I think this should work. I'm almost positive. Yeah. Because now it just keeps going. See? I'm smart. I did it. I'm not a dumb. I'm not a dumb. I'm not a dumb. That's right. Did it. Puzzle solved. Easy. There's really only so many things you could do there, so... You know, after a while, you would just figure that out on account that it's just the only thing left. But yeah, thanks, game. I learned a lot today. So, L block, merry-go-round. But is it really so merry? I don't know. I can hit a... Can I hit the red laser from here? I might not be able to, actually. I can hit a blue switch. This merry-go-round just basically implied that I'm going to be doing a lot of running around for seemingly no reason, because that's what it's sounding like to me right now. I can't really go anywhere here. Where is the blue laser? Because this is like the only door I can see. And presumably, I would have access to a blue laser somewhere. But I am blind. I do not see the blue laser that I have to use to continue onwards with this puzzle. And indeed, I have become the blind. And that was my true unfortunate circumstance. That was the true reason as to why I could not continue with this puzzle. It was because I was not looking. I was not looking clearly. I was not looking positively at the things I needed to be looking at. And as such, I came into such a situation where I simply could not continue. But I have figured it out. And with this extra knowledge, we can finally beat the rest of this puzzle. Hello, Mr. Laser. Please open this door for me, so I may take my jammy jam to the other side. This is indeed just going to be a puzzle where I'm just going to be running around a lot, honestly. I don't really see how it's going to be happening any other way, because it seems that I just use a jammer to keep the door open and then point the laser at something else and just kind of keep doing that forever. If that is indeed the case, and if it is indeed this easy, then I am almost just sort of disappointed in you, game, but we're gonna see. Maybe there's gonna be more to this than meets the eye. Maybe not. But we'll figure that out as we get there. And indeed, would you look at that? Would you look at that? Until we realize there is a thing over there. And it makes everything just more walking. It just makes everything more walking. Which, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that, personally. This is not going to work. I'm probably gonna need to put that further. Yeah, because let's be honest, it's just not in a good spot right now. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Well, I do see sort of the problem that I'm dealing with here, but it's just not a very interesting problem. It is really just quite a large quantity of walking. Why are you not doing this? But, you know, if you enjoy walking, then this optional puzzle area is the place for you! Hooray! All of my problems are solved the moment I entered this optional puzzle area! Oh! Butts everywhere. I understand now. I understand what I did wrong. I understand what I'm supposed to be doing here. I'm supposed to be bringing both of them. Not just one. I'm supposed to be bringing both. That's why it's called a merry-go-round, because you keep going in circles. Like a merry-go-round. But it's fine. The more we do this, the faster we're going to be getting at this. And then at the end, we'll be so fast that you won't even see me move anymore. It's like a blur every single day of my life. It's like every single day of my life is slowly blurring into one. And it's like a super exciting adventure that we're doing over here. Because now, we can hit this. We can put it over there. And now we can go back the way we came. Oh, what joy befuddles me this day, as I go through the same door over and over and over and over, until we finally reach the end, upon which we dance and celebrate, upon such a joyous occasion. Is this truly what I want, what I really, really want? Is this actually where I want it? Because I'm honestly not sure. I forgot to do the thing with the thing. Because I'm simply not used to a puzzle mechanic being used this frequently. What actually happens when I just go over here? There's another door. Okay. That answers that question. Fair enough, I say. I will go with it and just keep moving on. But I am pretty sure... Oh. Well, look at that. We have a conundrum. I am an idiot. Is the end of our conundrum. The end of this conundrum is, don't be greedy, and just actually remember where you have to put the thing, otherwise you're just gonna get stuck forever. Although... maybe this actually is an interesting puzzle. Because... I don't think I'd be able to get the blue laser if I put it anywhere else. Let's have a good think about this, unless I can just put it over here. Which I can, and that solves all my problems. Never mind. The puzzle is solved. It just took slightly more walking to a slightly different location than I originally anticipated. And that's fine. I was just unprepared. But now, we can keep moving on. Now, we just walk to the end. And live happily ever after. Is the general gist of it all. Because now we can just put this over here. Put that over there. and open the last door with our Jimmy Jammer, upon which we will get Elpis and be happiest person in land. What are you doing here, blue little thing? Are you there as a red herring once more? Are there secrets waiting for me in this puzzle area that I have not seen? Mayhaps, perhaps, I don't know. I just simply do not know. Either way, we are getting out of this puzzle, because again, it was oddly disappointing. And I don't know how I feel about this puzzle right now. Everything's all gray here. Everything's all somber. Why does everything have to be all somber up in this place? I don't know. I don't know. Probably is a reason for it. But not one that is immediately obvious. And as such, we will continue. But what do we do? Where do we go? Where are we gonna throw all these lasers around? Do we truly have the reflective powers to make this possible? I'm sure we do. This is gonna be a nightmare, isn't it? This is gonna be a rather complicated one. This one has a lot of different bits and pieces all over the place. But simultaneously, a lot of them are currently not being used. What's this for? What do you do? That's what you do. You, please, do things. Are we gonna cause some trouble here? Because I can smell trouble when I see it. And the smell of trouble is oozing out of this puzzle. The smell of trouble is making a rather filthy smell upon this particular area. But let's see what happens when I do this. Okay, let's see what happens when I do this. What are you doing? Oh, right, you. That's an issue. So, if I just don't open that at all? What if I just don't open that at all? What if I just completely ignore you exist? By just putting you in the way of everything. Wouldn't that just be neat? Wouldn't that just solve a lot of problems that we're currently dealing with? If we just pretend certain aspects of this puzzle just don't exist. There's probably a reason to do this. What is the reason? Beats me. But it's probably to stop something. This laser is really not helping out anyone. And I don't appreciate it very much. If I put you over here and just point you at... Oh god, no, that's horrible. Oh, we're dealing with a problem here, and it's not a very fun one. Because this laser is kind of in the way. It's kind of in the way. It's kind of stopping me from progressing in this life of ours. How am I gonna deal with this? What is this again? Oh yeah. I can just stop it. I am an idiot. That's the problem we're dealing with. I am not a very smart person. I can actually just stop this from happening. Is that a good idea? Is that something I want? Huh. Then there's this little problem of ours. What if... Do I want a box instead of a laser reflector? Because I feel like the answer to that might be a definite maybe. A definite maybe has been had here today. Because with the box, I can change altitudes. And when I can change altitudes, I run away from one of my problems. By just doing this. And when I do just that, I might be able to solve a small problem. And a small problem has been solved. Until we reach this place. and everything goes to poop. And poop indeed has been acquired this day. A large festival of feces have been thrown directly in my face upon reaching that particular switch. And it makes me a little bit of a grump, because I was hoping not to have a large ocean of feces in my face at this current moment in time. But here we are. Here we stand. If only I could pick you up. You have no idea how many problems that would solve. You have no idea. Alright, so we got a little bit of an issue going on here. We need to get... I guess we do actually need to use... these lasers then, maybe? How would that help us, though? Is what I'm wondering. Maybe I can just sneak the box in somehow. That would be weird, but... that would be pretty great simultaneously. If I could just sneak the box into the end of the puzzle. If I could just somehow do this. Like, that would also solve a substantially large amount of problems. Yeah. And that doesn't work because there's that old tobacco in the way. So if I... yeah, I guess I just need to actually reroute everything, don't I? If I just use those doors instead, then I guess I probably am going to need less lasers. I don't know if that's actually true or not. But I assume that is the case, because I don't know how else to deal with this problem. That is obviously not going to work, because that is not even a solution. But, you know, it's worth trying. Or something. But yeah, like this. Something like that or something. Just with better. Just with better. Yeah. Like that. You know what I mean. I think that thing is still going to be in the way, isn't it? Yes. No? No. Oh, okay. This actually does work. Well, aren't you being very interesting to me right now, game? But now I need to find some way to stop this whole debacle from happening. And actually be able to go back again as well, which is also a small part of this problem that we're dealing with right now. And indeed, there's also this. There's basically about 15 things about this entire thing, none of which I want to deal with. But in the end, I'm gonna have to. So, let's first of all solve this. Let's first of all get some sort of route going over here. And see if it leads to eternal happiness and joy. Because now we got a red laser. And that red laser is great. Is fantastic. Is good. Is many things that can be described as positive things. How about you go away? How about we use you in that for that instead? And I need the other one. I need the other one. I do actually need the other one. I need the other laser reflector. Otherwise, we're just not gonna get anything. And with nothing, we get very little. And we want it all. And we want it now. Preferably we want it 5 days ago, but it's just not gonna happen. I'm just not being a very smart little pineapple right now. But we'll get there. We'll get there in time. We'll get there in space. We'll get there in spades. This is an actual problem. But I know how to deal with it. Up, up, up. Yes, like that. Because now, I don't need you anymore. And we got ourselves a red laser. Which, I don't know if that one's in the right spot right now. Let's ruin everything. And point it at this as well. Let's just overextend everything. Okay, so something's going wrong here. And I'm guessing it's the red laser interfering with... yeah. Okay, so we're gonna deal with this by believing in ourselves or something. I don't really know. Okay, so I guess that's not how we're gonna deal with this red laser over here. Just, you know, that's just how I'm feeling about this whole situation right now. Just, stop. Hammer time. And then there's this, right? It's so close to being right, but it's not quite there yet. It's so close, but yet it's so far. But we'll get there. We'll figure out that sweet spot that I'm trying to hit over here. Okay, so that's a thing. So this is possible. Now. So what am I gonna do about this to get the box out, I guess? Is this the point where I get the box? And get the blue laser here? I don't know. Yes. Yes, I guess. I guess this might be the point where I try to get that. Would this work? No, because I would get stuck forever. Yeah, that's a bit of an issue, isn't it? Yes. Getting stuck forever might be considered as a bit of a small problem that I'm gonna have to face. Somehow. I tried every time. I wish I could just jump over one of these walls and just leave. It would solve a lot of the thinking process required to solve some of these things. But it's just not possible. So what do we do? What are we solving here? We are stopping this red laser from doing the thing it needs to do. If I... Oh, God, what... This puzzle is so much meaner than the previous one, if you ask me. So much meaner. Because I'm pretty sure I do need this to be, like, hitting the red thing, but simultaneously I need this thing to be hitting all of those things. You know... Do you know what I'm saying? Because I've lost myself in all these words. I have lost myself in all of these words right here. Because if I get the box now, then I won't be... Let's just try it. Let's just see what happens. Let's just see what happens. I don't... I'm so lost, so confused. If only I could just get one of these. That would also solve a lot of problems, if I could just get one of those too. But no. It's never that easy. So... Yeah, this is gonna just block everything. And this is gonna block everything as well. If I touch any of these, then the door will close, and everything will be gone. And that's kinda bad. That's kinda bad. But how am I gonna deal with this? How do I deal with this? I don't actually know. Because I can't get the laser over there. Was there any other way where I can just hit this somehow? I just put it all the way over here. And then just hope. No, I just get stopped by this thing. It just gets stopped by the wall, which makes sense because that's what walls do. They stop things. I don't suppose I could just, like, do something weird over here either. I mean, I guess I could try. I don't... This is... No. This just makes noise. So, that doesn't work. So what options do we have left? What options are left in our tiny, tiny little brains? Try to get a piece of, like, a puzzle piece out of a different puzzle, I suppose, but I feel like somehow that's not what they intended. Somehow I feel like that is not what they had in mind. Does this work? No. Because there's still that problem. There is still that problem. I'm just gonna try this for good measure, but I'm 100% sure that this does nothing. Well, this does something, but it's not quite the solution I was hoping for. Yeah, okay. So, what have we got going on? And how do we fix it? I'm just... I get so emotional when I get into a puzzle like this, and I just don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. This is why it's an optional puzzle, because it's just left me heartbroken. It just left me broken inside. Can I do something cool with this somehow? Because I feel like the answer to that question is quite clearly no. Maybe I was just overthinking this the entire time, and I could actually just do this all along. But again, I'm gonna say that that is somewhat unlikely. I can just, like, take this thing, and then just leave with it somehow. And then there's the switch. If only there was some way I could do. Some way I could doodle-do out of this place. Maybe there is. But I sure don't know what it is. I sure diddly darn don't know what I'm doing right now. Yeah. Can't just sneak, like, reach out my hand and hope for the best, unfortunately, either. So somehow, I need to get a piece here, and I'm actually gonna have to do this legitimately from the look of things. I can't just jump over something weird and just solve it that way. Presumably, maybe I don't need the box at all. Maybe not immediately, though. I'll probably need the box at some point, but maybe I won't need it immediately. I just don't know. Let's see what happens. Let's do something cool here. I just don't know what the cool thing is. Yeah, let's just put the box back. Maybe something will come to me out of nowhere. That'll just explode my mind into a shrapnel field of knowledge, and it's gonna light up the light of my life. Or something. Only I could just reach out and just grab that box. That would solve all my problems. There's so many things where it's like, if only I could do this thing, and then I would not have to deal with the other things. But I do have to deal with the other things. And it's very sad. You can probably hear the sadness in my voice right now. It is definitely there. And it is sad. And I wish it was not so sad. But it's sad. And it makes me sad. And you might have gotten sad by that statement as well. But I don't know. I just don't know. Okay, so what if, first of all, we're just gonna do something cool with the reds over here. And then we're gonna do something cool with the blues over here. And just do something like that. Now we have ourselves a reflector. And then we do some sort of weird voodoo magic, and then we win. Problem solved. That's all. That's the only step I need to do now. Voodoo magic. I genuinely have no idea. I cannot figure this out. And that bothers me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I do assume I just need to do something stupid here, but I just don't know. I just don't know. I just do not know. Open sesame. There's this nonsense right here. Like, I feel like so many problems could be solved if I didn't have all these problems. So many problems could be solved if they were just not there in the first place. But they are there, and it's an issue that I'm dealing with here right now.
My child.
What?
There is no shame in seeking
Oh,
another
shut up!
path. Leave this mystery for another day.
Don't even begin to condescend me like that, game. How dare you? How dare you? That is very rude. Huh. Actually, this might be a thing. This may be a thing over here. This may be some sort of solution, even though Dad's definitely not feeling it today. Yeah. If I then block this off. Well, like they have said many times, suck it, Dad. And also, I got an achievement for taking so ridiculously long on this puzzle, on this singular puzzle. And I'm completely stuck. So, it's like the perfect storm of nonsense. But we did it. And we can leave now. Cat's cradle. Cat's cradle indeed. This is another one of those instances where I feel like I did something not entirely correct, but it worked. And that's how I'm gonna go with my day. I'm just gonna be like, yep. May not have been quite as normal as the potential solution, but this worked as well. And I'm pleased with myself, because I can leave. I don't even really feel satisfied with doing that puzzle. I don't even know why. But it's just left kind of a sour taste. Because it was very strange. And I guess we're not going over here, are we? I just want to see what's over this dune, just outside of weird shadows. I just want to look around. I want to find the secrets! You'd think a secret, well, more optional area would have really cool, like, secret stuff. But maybe it's just too secret 5 me. I guess this needs 8 stars to enter. Which is what that sign says. I don't know why it says that, but it does. Or maybe this is zone number 8. That's also possible, I suppose. Or maybe it's 8 zone star zone, and that the other one's 8 zone wooden boards that are blocking me off zone. Who knows? I don't know. I am lost. I am leaving. In a second. After reading somewhere else where it's not zooming so loud. Let's see. BA. Oh, it is BA. Orangutan. A medical journal has published a startling new theory about last year's sudden and shocking extinction of the orangutan. See our award-winning video of the last orangutan at this link. They suggest that the virus responsible was not a new mutation, but a very old one. An ancient virus buried until now in high-latitude permafrost, set free by global warming. The virus may have plagued the ancestors of the modern great apes more than 100,000 years ago. Several important questions remain unanswered, including something or another. More importantly, the study suggests that based on samples taken from locations around the globe, the something incubation period may. If you like this article, you may also like how to really avoid heart attacks. You won't believe what's living under this rock. Top 10 amazing science facts. Oscar's nip-slip explained by physics. How to easily beat and God. Thanks, world, for still having links like that available to this day. I wonder what this means, like 6 and then the N between stars. Maybe you need N amount of stars to do it, just like this one needs 8 stars. Usernames. It's working now. Each iteration is assigned its own unique name drawn randomly from the database. At the moment, that's a database of online gaming handles, which does sound a bit odd. But I honestly don't think we should spend more time on this. We have unique identifiers, so we're fine. More than that is a luxury we can't afford. If we should happen to have everything else finished on time, I'll go back and generate a new database with more appropriate names. Right now, it just can't be a priority. So says George Jameson. And the Blake Archives. Image source plate11.png.
The ancient poets animated all sensible objects with gods or geniuses, calling them by names and adorning them with the properties of woods, rivers, mountains, lakes, cities, nations, and whatever their enlarged and numerous senses could perceive. And particularly they studied the genius of each city and country, placing it under its mental deity, till a system was formed which took advantage of and enslaved the vulgar by attempting to realize or abstract the mental deities from their objects. Thus began priesthood, choosing forms of worship from poetic tales, and at length they pronounced that the gods had ordered such things. Thus men forgot that all deities reside in the human breast. It means their heart, presumably. There's a bunch of words where there's a letter missing. I wonder if that's a secret message. Like over here there's an E missing. And over here is an E missing. So the secret message is obviously E. And with that, I guess we're gonna go. I don't know if there's anything else we can do here. But we got the 3 sigils. So I guess we can leave. Can I get my stars back, please? No, I can. I did that puzzle again, so that's good. Go me. Go me. Easily said, to be honest.